magicians, and mediums who consult with spirits have always been employed by the royal elite. In medieval Britain, Dr. John Dee was consulted regularly by Queen Elizabeth I. At the British Museum in London, we see the dark mirror which John Dee used to see or scry the faces of spirits. Dee's ability to communicate with spirits led him to be employed as a spy, developing psychic espionage techniques, which we now call remote viewing. John Dee attended Trinity College in Cambridge, which became a place where occultists and the world of spies were intertwined. Aleister Crowley also attended Trinity College. In 1904, he wrote an introduction to an ancient book of spells called the Goetia. Soon after, Aleister Crowley followed the footsteps of John Dee and worked as a spy for Her Majesty's Secret Intelligence Service, MI5. In medieval Britain, anyone found communicating with spirits was in danger of being arrested by the many inquisitions organized by the Vatican. The costumes and wickedness of the Vatican's inquisitions would later be copied by the Ku Klux Klan in the United States, who used the so-called Earth Salute, which was originally devised by members of the Victorian secret society known as the Golden Dawn. Hitler would also use the same salute and drop millions of leaflets quoting the prophecies of Nostradamus across Europe during his attempt in the 1940s to create a global Nazi superstate. The Vatican has issued 3 papal bulls against Freemasonry and the magical rituals of the craft. Many Catholics have also expressed doubt over the Hebrew science of spirit communication known as the Kabbalah. However, disregarding the warnings of the Pope, medieval monarchs across Europe ignored Vatican law and employed the services of Kabbalists, astrologers and magicians, whilst being protected from prosecution by their power and wealth. Dr. John Dee was secretly initiated into the secrets of the Kabbalah by Rabbi Lowe in the 1500s. The Kabbalah offers a route map which is called the Tree of Life. Discarnate spirits, some angelic, some evil, occupy each point on the Tree of Life. These spirits can be called forth and invoked to serve the magician. Medieval astrologers and Kabbalists such as John Dee were hired by monarchs to plan their wars, or to experiment with alchemy, trying to transform base metals into gold and thus increase the already spectacular wealth of the monarchy. When a British monarch is crowned, an elaborate ceremony takes place which resembles the ritual crowning of King Solomon of ancient Israel. King Solomon ruled over ancient Israel and had extensive knowledge of the Kabbalah, which he used to communicate with demons.
King Solomon was anointed king, the priest known as Zadok, and the prophet known as Nathan, so thou be anointed, blessed and consecrated, queen over all the people.
King Solomon is the single most important figure in the occult teachings of World International Freemasonry. The ancient Goetia is a book of powerful invocations and spells written by King Solomon. These ancient spells and evocations were used to summon spirits who were then psychically tortured and forced to serve King Solomon. The Goetia contains descriptions of 72 demons, some of whom control their own army of lesser demons. King Solomon evoked and imprisoned these spirits in a bronze vessel sealed using magic symbols. The Goetia explains how the spirits can be compelled into obedience. The Goetia describes a demonic royal hierarchy of spirits, many of which are referred to as knights, princes, and kings. King Solomon ruled ancient Israel from the year 970 to 928 BC. Satanists, occultists, and Freemasons worldwide venerate the memory of King Solomon, who owned a magic ring engraved with a symbol called the Seal of Solomon. This gave him power over the invisible monarchy of demons. This Seal of Solomon is better known as the Star of David. It is this symbol which is encoded into the $1 bill and is also the flag of Israel. This symbol, which was used to invoke and control Asmodeus, one of the senior spirit kings in the infernal monarchy of hell. This church was transformed into a Kabbalistic temple masquerading as an ordinary village church in the 1880s by Abbe Saunier, who discovered documents from King Solomon's temple stashed inside the altar. To this very day, the British coronation is a bastardized version of the actual coronation ritual of King Solomon. King Solomon and his magical temple are the central foundation stone of world international Freemasonry. The Masonic rituals are designed to invoke a magical atmosphere in the lodge. Millions of Freemasons meet every week at lodges all over the planet, all venerating and singing hymns to King Solomon and spirits. Since the Dark Ages, misguided, selfish individuals have joined various cults such as the OTO, the Knights Templar, and Freemasonry in order to study different elements of ritual, blood oaths, and a form of the Kabbalah. The upper levels of Freemasonry require the initiate to memorize dozens of pages of text written in Hebrew and study symbols used in the Goetia to invoke spirits. The Templars and Masons have been led by senior royals since the beginning. The Masonic network provides the monarchy with an invisible worldwide cabal who have sworn allegiance to the monarchy and their Masonic demon god known as Yabulon. The entity known as Baal is named by King Solomon as the most senior spirit in the infernal royal hierarchy of demons. Masons swear never to divulge each other's secrets. Also, never to criticize a fellow Mason, even if he be guilty of murder. This provides the monarchy with a global army of Freemasons willing to do their service in secret to the crown. To the British royals of the Middle Ages, murder by magic was accepted as fact. Queen Elizabeth I and King Henry VIII ruled Britain at a time when the black arts of witchcraft and poisoning were inseparably linked. Across Europe, the monarchy was involved with one murder after another, many deaths attributed to a form of black magic, often perpetrated by someone within the royal court. In 1388, the Queen of Aragon was accused of the attempted murder of her own son by using witchcraft. In 1419, Jeanne of Navarre, the widow of King Henry IV, tried using magical spells to kill her stepson, Henry V. Jeanne of Navarre was convicted on evidence offered by her chaplain. Further revelations exposed the fact that witchcraft was being practiced right at the very heart of the royal court of England. Like the Kabbalist magicians, witches were also sometimes employed by the monarchy. Medieval witches would often make wax figurines resembling the likeness of the intended victim. The doll would then be tortured and burnt, often causing ill effects on the victims. It is claimed that this technique can induce an early death by heart attack or disease. King Alfred recognized the tendency for royals and noblemen to use witchcraft, and imposed the death sentence for anyone practicing the black arts. However, his law went unheeded. By the late Middle Ages, satanic black masses were attended by royals and aristocrats in Vienna, Paris, Venice, and London. King Henry VIII came to the throne knowing that psychics, magicians, and mystics with knowledge of necromancy had been on permanent employment with the royal court. In 1538, Mabel Brigg was executed in York for trying to kill Henry VIII using the so-called Black Fast, where the sorcerer performs a hunger strike inside a magic circle whilst directing the wrath of spirits against the victim. In 1429, it was disclosed through letters written by Jeanne of Navarre that she was a member of a coven of witches which operated right in the heart of the English royal court. One of her fellow witches was the wife of one of her stepsons, Eleanor Cobham, who was married to Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Eleanor Cobham was arrested on the 25th of June 1441 at the King's Head Tavern in Cheapside, London, and stood trial for witchcraft. Her husband was the heir to the British throne. Another royal witch was soon exposed, the Duchess Jacquette of St. Pol, who was married to another brother of Henry V. She stood in a witchcraft tribunal which heard evidence suggesting that she had ensured her daughter's marriage using talismans and black magic. A frenzy of satanic ritual was eventually exposed at the heart of the royal courts of Britain and France by several 19th century historians. Black Mass is a satanic parody of the Roman Catholic Mass, often involving the ritual murder of a virgin. Aleister Crowley wrote extensively about ritual sacrifice and recommended that a child under the age of 9 of above average intelligence made the ideal sacrificial victim.